Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to EA Tetragrammaton, where we are playing This is turn 25. Let's jump into things. So this is actually a pretty sparse turn, but we've got a bunch of things in the so we're going to talk about that. We've searched in White Peaks with Gudu 11, found nothing. Had an unexpected event in Niotha twice. And it seems like Niotha keeps having a bunch of events, so this is actually kind of interesting. We've got +6 water gems, which is nice, and then we've got -10 income, which is not nice. So this is actually, I hate to see these events, they're very bad. It doesn't seem that bad initially, but if you think about this, over the course of the next 10 turns, that's 100 gold that we don't have. And that just keeps going throughout the entire game. Like, this is 100 gold every 10 turns that we will never have because of this event. The entrance to the fortification in Agartha has been breached. We can storm the fort anytime now. Yay! So, what's going on this turn? A couple of different things happening. Let's talk about Agartha initially. So we are storming the castle with everyone that is here. This is a force of 48 units. Should be able to handle what Agartha has to throw at it. Fingers crossed. We've got our Mushushus out in front so that they can kind of get into the gate, hopefully. We've got Swarmcasters, we've got Lightning Bolt spam. Should be fine. Actually going to take him off Word of Thorns and move him just slightly. Save everyone's from there. Basanapada. Okay, so that's what's going on in Agartha. Hopefully Agartha is done next turn. We will have the fortification. That'll give us 2 caps. It'll be real good. We'll finish off these 2 provinces and progress forward. Great. That's the plan and the hope. Fingers crossed. What else are we doing? We're site searching around with a couple of other people. I will say this. We're starting to get to the point to where I'm probably not going to detail every little bitty thing, because now we've got 2 capitals. We're going to have a bunch of little nitpicky things here or there. I'm probably only going to talk about what I think is the big stuff. We're site searching all over the place. We're moving Enkidu elders all over the place to maintain our province defense boosts. Our god is hitting sites that have more magic sites for site searching. And we're moving a new NC down towards Rim Mountains. So this guy he's got a little force, force that should be able to defeat these Huskarls, especially once it is reinforced from Kohnberg here. Probably going to be reinforced by 2 Gudus or something like that, maybe 3. Actually, I might actually grab an elder quick, and we'll do like an elder and a Enkidu scout, and this actually gives me money to play with next turn, which is something that I kind of want. I want to be able to start a Palisades upgrade as soon as we can in Perenna, and I want to be able to drop a temple as soon as we can in Agartha. So I'm actually okay with this. This puts us down 1 Gudu compared to where we were going to be, but that's okay. So this NC is going to lead an army into Rim Mountains in 2 turns, which will be reinforced from Kohnberg. And that's about it for our borders, right? We're moving around, site searching, reinforcing our infrastructure, right? We're going to have 4 forts pretty shortly, is the plan. And we're going to try to consolidate this territory. And after that is where things get very sticky, because the world stage is kind of in a weird predicament right now. So, Pangaea is at war with Kailasa and Saramatia. They are allied with Hinnom, so Hinnom is also at war with Saramatia and Kailasa. Saramatia and Kailasa, to my understanding, are not faring well. I've heard that Saramatia has had a good victory against Hinnom, But Pangaea is a monster, and Pangaea is, I mean, it's early age Pangaea. That's what early age Pangaea does, is be a monster. They've already devoured Tirnanog. They're looking to devour someone else. Kailasa, and I guess through Kailasa Sarmatia, has reached out to me, and I'm pretty sure they've also reached out to Mictlan. So the concept of a coalition forming against Pangaea is beginning, but it's one of those situations of we saw how quickly Pangaea devoured Tirnanog. If things don't happen quickly, if people don't react quickly, it's entirely possible that Pangaea will just roll over Kailasa, roll over Sarmatia, and we'll have a monster on our hands, and there won't be much of anything that we can do about it. I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to. I don't know. But we're going to have to react sooner rather than later. If we're going to get involved, we're going to have to react sooner rather than later. And if we don't get involved, the alternative there is if we don't get involved, we're going to have to react to something instead. I.e., the only reason why it will be acceptable to not engage Pangaea is if I am instead engaging someone else, like Fomoria or Yomi, with the intent to devour them rapidly and still be a force to be reckoned with in and of itself, right? So that's the general kind of concept. Part of what hampers this whole plan is I do have a NAP 3 with Pangaea, which of course I will honor, right? But also I've got border issues. Like I need to finish out the Agarthan scenario. I need to recapture Rim Mountains. I need to get into a situation where I can handle some stuff. And there's a third option here. Well, it's kind of basically like option 2.B, right? I share a border with Kailasa. And Kailasa, I already know, is at war with Pangaea. I could easily just march this army down into Kailasa's territory, into Belagor, right? No non-aggression pact. I have nothing, no promises of aid or anything like that. And it would probably be very easy for me to take this area. Who knows? Now, is that gonna... what that does, right, is that's obviously me vulturing. And I'm sure Pangaea's not gonna like it. But what it does is twofold. Is it answers the issue of me getting stronger, right, by giving me more territory. And it answers the issue of Pangaea getting stronger by taking territory that Pangaea would be taking. And it also might just be safer for me, right? In the long run, I might have a better chance of succeeding at that plan than I do at plan 1 or plan 2. So that's the general concept that we're looking at right now. Do we get involved with a war, a massive coalition war against Pangaea? Do we try to turn on a neighbor, right? Fomoria and Yomi's fight against one another has kind of made them both smaller than they otherwise would be, right? Neither of them has been successful in defeating the other, which means that they're just using resources against each other. It could be very simple for me to turn on one of them and devour some of their territory while the other takes the rest, right? Or do I snag some territory from Kailasa? I'm not sure. There are a bunch of issues going on with that situation. So here's our research. We are not going to make Alteration 5 this turn, but we are going to make it next turn. And then we're going to head into Construction 2. This is for a number of different reasons, but basically we just want to have some access to basic gear. And we want a jumping off point to be able to jump into Construction 4 for later on in the game. After Construction 2, which should be very quick, we're probably going to run up Conjuration, or at least to level 5. Maybe not all the way to level 5, but probably close. We are behind. We are absolutely behind where I would want to be, but it looks like we're going to survive to the turn 30 mark, you know? Tirnanog's out, Agartha's about to be out, Kailasa might be following behind shortly, Saramatia might be following behind shortly. It looks like we're going to be around into the mid-game. I just don't know if we have established ourselves well enough to be able to be a power in the mid-game. I think the scenario that I have with Agartha is basically like a false show of power. And if Pangea turns on me, I'm going to crumple easily. I think even if Yomi or Fimoria were to turn on me, I would probably crumple. You know, if Relay came out of the sea, I would definitely crumple, right? So it's just a matter of, can I snag something and kind of build myself up in time during the mid game to kind of like reach a higher point. And part of that is deciding what actually gets me a victory here. What can I do that actually makes me the winner in the long term? Right? I've got a good bless, but how do I actually translate that into power? I think a big portion of that is going to be Kusaraku's, and then this, going all the way up to Conjuration 8 or Umu Apkalu's. These are the kind of like unique summon that gets. They're incredibly powerful mages that have astral and a bunch of other paths, right? I think getting them is probably going to be a big deal. They're incredibly expensive. They're incredibly high up conjuration. I'm not sure we're going to be able to make it there in a realistic manner or in a realistic time frame. So alternatively, I'm looking at Earthblood Deepwell, right? Earthblood Deepwell, Kings of Elemental Earth, basically taking over the Earth side of the game. And then using Earth and nature buffs to really make my troops, which are decent troops, challenging to deal with, basically. I don't know that that's going to work. I don't think our research is going to be strong enough to really push through to that. So we're just going to have to see. All right. At this point, I'm kind of just talking about random things. So this is the turn. We've got a lot of movements going on, but not a lot happening just yet. Should be finalizing Agartha. Hopefully we'll be finalizing this territory soon. Finishing Alteration 5, which has been a goal for a very long time. And now we have to decide where are we going next. I don't know. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.